The following is an exclusive presentation of the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the AHSAA Radio Network.
Won their fifth straight state championship and their 13th overall.
Hello everybody and welcome to Inside the AHSA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Appreciate your being with us as always. Got a lot to be excited about obviously with the AHSA. Look, we all know all the sports matter, they're all important, but in the end, football generally drives the train. And I'm telling you what, it's football season and we couldn't be more excited about it at the AHSA Radio Network, which I am a part of. And it's a big time for us and a huge season coming up for the AHSAA. Practice has started this week for several schools, and there's a lot to be excited about. We're going to have David Burkhalter on in just a moment to talk about some of the things coming up in this AHSAA football season. He will be one of the co-hosts for the AHSAA Scoreboard Show, which I'll also be a part of, along with Jeremy Jeffcoat, who was our guest last week on Inside the AHSAA. We'll talk to David about several things going on in the AHSA, specifically some great articles that have come out from AL.com, and Josh Bean, a good friend of the program, he has come out with his 30 things to be excited about for this football season, and there is a lot to be excited about when it comes to the AHSA football time. So we will be back in just a minute with more Inside the AHSA.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
No, wrong! Bring it in, guys! Take an E! Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola gonna give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero!
Take a lap! Coke Zero! Real Coke taste!
0 calories!
Hunter Price is Coosa County's Alpha Insurance agent and has the knowledge to help you with all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. With Hunter and Alpha Insurance, you have a team of professionals to access your needs, save money, and give you the personal one-on-one service in your time of need. Visit our main branch in downtown Rockford or call us at 256-377-4955 for all your insurance needs.
Call Alpha. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world, where families discover nurses and doctors as excellent as any in the state, and the embrace of world-class care is as close to home as a trip to the grocery store, where the continuity of care isn't lost in exhausting miles of road, but just down the street. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world.
welcome back to Inside the AHSA. I want to welcome in now my good buddy and co-host for the AHSA Scoreboard Show on occasion, Mr. David Burkhalter. David, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Luke. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I'm really doing fantastic now that it's football season.
Oh yeah, man, super excited. Actually, the weather's been a little dreary here around the Alexander City area, which is where I'm at. But it's felt a little crispy in the mornings. You can start to feel that sort of football weather, and just adding to the overall atmosphere, getting ready for football season.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was in Ohio this past weekend, and the temperatures were consistently in the 70s, and the lows got into the mid-50s. And I called into one of our other sports programs, Saturday Sports Countdown, that we do with the Sports Blitz team, and I told them it feels so much like football season right now. I can't believe it here at the beginning of August. It certainly did pique my interest for football again. But let's talk about some things going on with the AHSA. First of all, this isn't a direct relation with the AHSA per se, but AL.com came out with a fantastic article about the 30 things to be excited about when it comes to this high school football season, and there is so much to be excited about. First and foremost, let's start with the reigning Mr. Football, LaDamian Webb, coming back for Beauregard.
That's exactly right, Luke. I'm glad you brought that up because that was actually the first thing I had on my list to talk about. On the list of 30 most things to be excited about, I don't know how it didn't come in as number one. It's number 11 actually, but you're reigning Mr. Football. I don't know the last time an underclassman was the reigning Mr. Football, but LaDamian Webb, right down the road from us here in Alexander City, he's at Beauregard. He'll actually be playing against Benjamin Russell this year. He took the Hornets to the Class 5A title game. Of course, there he ran for 359 yards. And you want to talk about a workhorse, Luke, 51 carries in the Class 5A state championship game. He's ran for 3,342 yards and scored an AHSAA record 53 touchdowns. So he's gotten bigger, he's gotten faster, or so I've been told over the offseason. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Mr. LaDamian Webb run rampant through 5A this year. Now, I don't know what they bring back on the offensive line, and as you know, Luke, the success of a running back often depends on how good that offensive line is. Last year, a phenomenal offensive line for the Hornets. I'm interested to see if he can do better than he did last year, and that would be saying a lot because last year was a phenomenal, really a once-in-a-lifetime season for a guy like LaDamian Webb.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to duplicate that, no doubt. And here's the thing, 53 touchdowns. I wonder how many schools didn't score 53 touchdowns last year.
I mean, there's plenty of them that I could tell you here in the area.
Unfortunately.
53 touchdowns in 2 years. But LaDamian Webb, I mean, he's not just a running back, though. He's an all-around guy. I know a couple of games I got to watch him last year. He returned kicks. Every once in a while he'll return a punt. But he's just a phenomenal guy. And one thing that I really noticed about him is that his legs never stop moving. So you got to wonder maybe, 51 carries, your legs would get tired. You got to get a little worn out. You're beat up. But he never stopped. His legs keep turning, and he gets yards after contact. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him this year. And, of course, he is a Mississippi State commitment, and there are a lot of prospects in the state of Alabama this year. And one way to judge about what a year will be like, and this goes for the SEC too. I think the SEC is going to have a big rebound this year in terms of offensive production because of quarterback play. You look at the state of Alabama in high school, you've got quarterbacks all over the place, and a lot of them are juniors. You've got great quarterbacks at Hewitt-Trussville, at Saraland, at Sidney Lanier. The state is just flush with great quarterbacks this year. Thompson has a fantastic quarterback as well. And then there's Bo Nix over at Pinson Valley. You hit the two names that are really stand out to me, Luke, as far as the quarterback position. I like watching Bo Nix. Of course, he's the son of the former Auburn quarterback, Pat Nix, the legend there. And a lot of people think that he could surpass his dad in terms of talent and ability. So that's saying a lot there. And of course, his dad is a coach. He's played for his dad. And, he's got all the tools. He's a smart kid. He's a hard worker, got great arm strength, good accuracy, and a great leader, which to me, that leadership role that he plays there for Pinson Valley is just, that can't be stated enough. You got to have somebody there with a great field presence, and Bo Nix has that. But the name that really is most interesting, and I think a lot of people around here are going to recognize the last name, and I may mispronounce the first name, but Taluya Tagovailoa. I cannot say it, Luke. You know I think it's Tagovailoa, and the first name I hadn't been able to get myself yet. I know his brother's name is Tua, but I think it's Tagovailoa. But the interesting part about that, of course, he's the younger brother of the new Alabama backup quarterback Tua, and he's going to Thompson. And a lot of people say, well, why Thompson? One word for you, two words for you, Mark Freeman. Mark Freeman, of course, a legendary coach here in the high school ranks of Alabama. He comes to Thompson. I believe this is his second or third year there via Spanish Fort, where he won several state championships. He knows how to coach a quarterback. He's been waiting for somebody like Mr. Tagovailoa. You have to say it for me again, Luke. But he's been waiting for somebody like that that can lead this offense. You know, he likes to air it out. He likes to throw the ball around. A lot of spread offense going to be ran down there at Thompson. I've said for several years, if they can give Mark Freeman time to work this offense into what it needs to be, that Thompson is going to move from being a bottom-of-the-pack team in 7A to somebody that can compete with somebody like Hoover or Spain Park or, you know, anybody else in 7A. This is the year for Thompson. We'll see how it goes with the new quarterback transfer coming all the way from Hawaii. Of course, you know, competition's probably a little tougher in Alabama than it was at high school in Hawaii, so it'll be a lot of fun. Another name that you might want to think about at quarterback, a really interesting storyline anyway. How about Hewitt Trussell's Paul Tyson? Now, that last name may not mean much to you, but his great-granddad was the legendary Paul Bear Bryant. So I'll be interested to see if he can live up to the high expectations that you would think would be put on somebody like the great-grandson of Paul Bryant. We'll see how it goes there.
And then, of course, I mentioned Sidney Lanier earlier. They have a quarterback that is committed to Missouri. There are going to be a lot of quarterbacks going to big D1 schools from the state of Alabama. David, hang on with us. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the upcoming football season.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
More heart.
More drive. More will.
More guts.
More sweat.
More dedication.
More practice. More control.
More clutch.
More hard work.
More fun.
More family.
More love.
More basketball.
Baseball.
College tennis.
More every day.
More everything. More
to come.
More Wilson.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Take a knee. Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola.
Take a lap! Coke Zero. Real Coke taste.
0 calorie.
Where there's action, there's Encore. Professional. Responsive. Dedicated.
rehabilitation.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world, where families discover nurses and doctors as excellent as any in the state. And the embrace of world-class care is as close to home as a trip to the grocery store, where the continuity of care isn't lost in exhausting miles of road, but just down the street. We are Russell Medical, and this is our corner of the world.
Welcome back in to Inside the AHSA. I'm your host, Luke Robinson. Thanks so much for being with us on this episode. And I want to welcome back in our good friend, David Burkhalter, who is my co-host with the AHSA Scoreboard Show. David, we've been talking about the upcoming season, and one thing that I'm really excited about is a lot of out-of-state games between Alabama schools and then schools that are big names across the country. IMG Academy, for example, is going to be playing Hoover. But there are some big games that are going to take place between the likes of Saraland, Hoover, all types of schools are trying to venture out and get some of those made-for-TV games.
Yeah, Luke, that's always a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, the one game that's on there that everybody's waiting to see is Hoover and IMG Academy. IMG Academy, you hear about them every year during recruiting season because they have so many. I believe at one point last year they had every starter on offense and defense had committed to play at the next level. That's a very talented team that's going to be taking on, obviously, the best team in the state in Hoover. And that'll be a game that's a lot of fun to watch. Of course, Saraland opened up last year with a doubleheader on ESPNU. They're going to be playing out of state again as they take on Heard County, Georgia. And then, like you said, Hewitt-Trussville going to be playing Holy Trinity out of Florida. Of course, Florida is a hotbed of recruiting. There's going to be some great athletes that come into to play that game. That's just a lot of fun to me. I mean, obviously, Hoover's obviously the top team in the state. Watching them play two out-of-state teams in Grayson and IMG, you really get to gauge where high school football is in the state of Alabama. Can our best play with the country's best in IMG? I mean, IMG gets students from all over the world, not just the country, but they have some of the best talent in the world. It's going to be really interesting to see where we stand against a team like IMG. And as Hoover, obviously, like I said, the best team in the state, I can't wait to watch that game.
There are also some other big prospects in the state. I've talked a little about the quarterbacks. I've talked about LaDamian Webb. There's Harold Joyner at Mountain Brook. He is a phenomenal athlete, really just incredible, well put together kid. Then there's Coynus Miller in the Birmingham area. There's also Ahsaa Martin, the running back out of Decatur. Yeah. A lot of guys to look forward to watch playing.
Well, the one that I'm really just cannot wait to watch the highlights from is the number one receiver, not in the state, but in the country, in Central Phoenix City receiver Justin Ross. I mean, he's an elite player and one of the top players in the country, not just a receiver, but he's somebody that can do it all. He's another guy that you'll see return punch from time to time. He's just a standout and explosive player. Ahsaa Martin, you talked about that. His recruiting, I've been keeping up with because, I am a Florida fan, and he was sort of had Florida on the back burner. It's really going to come down, obviously, between Alabama and Auburn. As I haven't heard if he's committed yet. I think he's holding off on that. St. Paul defensive back, you said that, Jalen Armour Davis, he committed to Alabama. You don't commit to Alabama as a defensive back unless you're one of the best in the country. So he'll be a lot of fun to watch. And then, of course, you said Saraland quarterback Jack West. He's going to be going all the way out west to Stanford to play for the Cardinals. So a lot of really great football players, but there's always something, there's always that one guy that you don't really hear much of at the start of the season that sort of surprises people. And I always like to I'm anxious to see who it's going to be this year. I mean, you got a lot of talent in the Mobile area, and we're going to be doing a lot of coverage during the scoreboard show of the Mobile area, just because there's so many really good players that come out from that collection of schools down there. You got St. Paul, Spanish Fort, all those schools in 5, 6, 7A that are at Jackson that are really competitive in Viger, places like that. But just think about all the college and NFL players that have come out of that area. But the thing that we've talked about last year on the scoreboard show that I'm really anxious to see carries over to this year is the resurgency of football in the Montgomery area. I mean, you've got a team like Wetumpka that had been really good at one point in time and had taken, maybe a couple of steps back that are really fighting their way back up to the top again. You see schools that had the private school down there whose name just all of a sudden escapes me, but that are really starting to turn the corner and become some of the top teams in the state. And I want to see if that can carry over to this season. Will Prattville, will they be that same Prattville that got walked all over at times last year, or will they return to where they were competing for a state championship? I mean, the resurgency of Montgomery football is a really interesting storyline to the 2017 season.
There's no doubt. You brought up Wetumpka. They've got a running back named Courvoisier Smoke, who he is a fabulous player, but he got the best name in the country. Somebody's going to have to.
A very suitable name for him down there, because if you give him any kind of space, that's what you're going to see is Smoke. And that's somebody that we'll get to see play firsthand. He does. Wetumpka has to play the team here in our backyard, Benjamin Russell, and I can promise you that game is going to planning for him is going to give the Wildcat coaching staff fits. I think anybody that plays Wetumpka trying to plan for that guy is going to give him fits. An explosive player. I don't know if he's committed anywhere yet or not, but he'll definitely be playing at the next level as well.
Yeah, and I think a player to keep an eye on too is somebody committed to Ole Miss right now, and that's Alan Love out of Huffman. He's a defensive lineman. I think he may blow up on the recruiting circuit as this season wears on. And finally, David, this season's going to be a little bit longer. Traditionally, the Super 7 has been the few days before the SEC championship game. Well, this year, the Super 7 is the week after the SEC championship game, and the Super 7 will be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium. What do you think about the longer season?
I mean, shoot, man, the more football we can get, the better, right? I mean, right now I'm sort of going through withdrawals of not having football. I've even resorted to watching the entire Hall of Fame game the other day with the Cardinals and players that I had never even heard of playing on the Cowboys. So, I mean, the longer football can last, the better. And I know you're excited about it. I know you've been there before and you've called games from there before, but being an Alabama fan, you've got to be excited about traveling back down to Bryant-Denny Stadium. You know, high school football here, especially in Alabama, it's the best there is. I mean, you can't get any better. It's not just because we have the smattering of extremely talented players. We've got players that'll definitely go on to play at the next level, and even some in the NFL. But we have a lot of just average talented guys that really pour their heart and soul into this football season, and it's just a lot of fun to watch their hard work in the offseason pay off here in the 2017 football season. Luke, it's the best time of the year. I mean, I can't wait for it.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing the scoreboard show with you some this year, David, and thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I look forward to it as well.
That was David Burkhalter, who is one of the hosts for the AHSA scoreboard show, all-around good guy, and he loves to keep up with AHSA football. There's no doubt about that. Well, we're going to take another break. We'll be back in just a minute to wrap the show up.
You may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization, wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat, full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma, all with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
No, wrong! Bring it in, guys! Take a knee! Let's go over this again. Who starts off with a real Coke taste? Coca-Cola! And then Coca-Cola pitches the real Coke taste to who? Coca-Cola! How is Coca-Cola going to give real Coke taste to itself? Take a lap, genius! Coca-Cola takes a snap and then pitches the real Coke taste to Coke Zero running up on the right. You got it? Yeah! At that point, we fake punt the real Coke taste. Who fakes the punt?
Coke Zero Cola!
Take a lap!
June will mark 10 years of providing quality t-shirts, athletic uniforms, and promotional products for Lee Apparel. Our success is due in large part to the customers we serve in the Lake Martin community and the great state of Alabama. Our hopes are for many more years of success and growth. Contact Lee Apparel today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at leeapparel.com.
Hunter Price is Coosa County's Alpha Insurance agent and has the knowledge to help you with all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. With Hunter and Alpha Insurance, you have a team of professionals to access your needs, save money, and give you the personal one-on-one service in your time of need. Visit our main branch in downtown Rockford or call us at 256-377-4955 for all your insurance needs.
Call Alpha.
Where there's action, there's Encore. Professional. Responsive. Dedicated. Encore Rehabilitation.
Team is not something you do alone. Team is plural. Team is arms, legs, blood, sweat, and soul. A lot goes into team. But what we take away stays with us forever.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Media, and LMG Baker Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design and branding to ad placement and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Inside the AHSAA. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you will be with us next week as we will talk more about the AHSAA, and we're probably going to be a little football centric here for the next several weeks, if not months, as football season is getting kicked off literally, and we cannot wait here with the AHSAA Radio Network. This really is one of the more fun times of the year for us, and I know it is for you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate your listenership, and we will catch you again next week.